Well, I didn't want too much strength just in one area. That meaning not too much strength, too much of one color in one area. So I've gone more purple here. I started out with a little more in the blues, but I think I'm going to go mauve. I'm using cobalt blue and a little bit of alizarin crimson. Acts as a good intermediary between these colors and these, really, in general. I still can't do a band of the same color. I have to honor the shapes that I've put in here by changing the color a little bit. So I've used ultramarine blue with my cobalt blue. No, I've used alizarin crimson with my cobalt blue. Now let's use a little bit of cad red medium with that cobalt blue. It's a bit of a different red. And I want to go higher value. I think I do. Because as we approach this, although the drama between dark and light is nice, I don't want it to be too strong. And I'm just going to lay a few strokes on here and see how that looks. I think it might be too much. I'm seeing it right now and thinking, yeah, it might be a little strong. But I don't know. You know, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Right now I'm not sure. Yeah, you know, this mixture in general is actually pretty high chroma, so I'm going to put a little more cobalt blue into that. And a little more alizarin crimson, going back to what we were doing a moment ago. And I'm going to cover that. I'm not going to leave as much of the black lines surrounding the trees. Well, it's not black, but you know what I mean, the dark line. You know, we know that these trees are farther away than these bulrushes or cattails or whatever you want to call them. By the way, I did organize these a little more. Maybe they're too organized. I don't care. Again, it's an 8 by 10 inch panel. I had a lot of strokes at different levels, and I feel for a painting of this size that's kind of unnecessary and even counterproductive in a way. So that's why I've decided just to jump in here and change it a little bit. I'd probably do well to reintroduce a few of the darker lines in spots. I don't want it to be all really a solid mass of color, but again, I'm overthinking it. And what I've noticed, you know, as you know, I've revisited this painting several times already. I've got a few videos out on it, and that's okay. But me personally, I'm actually getting a little bit, well, I can't say, well, yeah, I guess I could say bored of doing these small panels. It's been, you know, I've done a number of them now, back to back, and I love some variety. I get bored pretty easily, so what I might just do is lay in the colors I'm working with now and not finish this. As with the rest that I've done recently, as you know, I think there's only a couple of them that are actually done. I think that I've left most of them. I've sort of brought them to the 11th hour without actually finishing them. So I might do the same with this one and then just bring them upstairs and revisit them later. But I thought I'd lay the purples in there anyway. just to soften this area. And I think what I'm going to do is, in lieu of more panels, yeah, see, I'm kind of rushing along here. Is actually go and buy a canvas again. I miss painting rocks. I love painting rocks. And I love painting bigger skies. So doing a group of small panels was a break from doing larger paintings. Let me back the camera up a little bit. There we go. Let's put it about there. And likewise, now that I've done a number of small panels, I want to break from that. So I think I'm going to go out tomorrow and get a minimum 1620, maybe a 2436, 1824, 1820. We'll see what's out there. We'll see what's available. And take a break from these and work into something larger again. Happy with it, happy with the shapes, but I'm finding myself just kind of hurrying along, and that's the wrong way to approach painting, because I'm not that engaged anymore. Every year I have a period of time, and it lasts usually for 2 weeks, maybe even for a month, where I suffer a little bit of burnout. I make quite a few paintings every year, and I need to recharge, and I don't mean recharge for a day, although that's, your year has to be interspersed with days like that too. I mean just a couple of weeks where you don't do anything regarding painting, or not much anyway. So I'll probably get, as I said, a canvas or a larger one, but over the next week or 2 weeks I probably won't put out too many videos. If I do, they will have to do with something else. Yeah, I guess that's it. It's break time for me. My brain needs a rest from this. You get burnout. I get burnout annually. So we'll just cover it with something that's less interesting to the art crowd, but it's fun to do. I'm going to do a review on my little motorcycle. I have motorcycle fever now. Talk to you soon.